Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash. Right there is my brother Tasia Dash, and our guy Eric is off today. He's got some busy stuff going on. I'm sure you guys saw Eric make his appearance at the basketball game last Saturday night. I think it was the first game with the black jerseys, and Eric was there in style. I think he was in the booth with Allah and Kate. Looked fantastic up there. I know some people were making comments about him looking at his phone. I mean, Michigan State was playing at the same time. I don't know if he was actually watching the Michigan State game at the time, but it was nice to see Eric back in the building when they brought back the black jerseys.
We'll have to ask him about that when we see him. But even if he was, I mean, he's a real fan like the rest of us. You know, I'm sure everyone keeps tabs on another game when they're watching one game. I know I do. But yeah, he was good luck. We went on like a tear when he was commentating. So good luck.
Yeah, it's the black jersey luck, bring back the good vibes in Philadelphia. So guys, so going forward, I know we've been kind of up and down with our schedule here. So going forward, as of right now, we'll be going every Tuesdays. So next Tuesday, you will see us right here at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 30 to 45 minutes to kind of highlight what's going on for the week in Philadelphia and kind of talk about the things that we have seen and what we will see for the upcoming week ahead. So that's what we're going with for future episodes every Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eric, myself, and Tasia will be back on here to talk all things Sixers. But today, Eric is not on here. But if you have any questions, we always are obliged to answer your guys' questions and very welcome to do so. So ask us. You're stuck with us today. You're stuck with the brothers today. But, yeah, let's begin. So, obviously, a lot is going on with the Sixers. 7-4, looking pretty good, exceeding expectations. I know right now, I mean, if you look at the kind of the lay of the land in the East, it's pretty wide open. I know Detroit's on a tear. And the Knicks, who were the favorites to win the Atlantic, they are – going to have to deal with some injuries. Brunson has a mid-grade ankle sprain. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but Brunson is that team for them. But yeah, I mean, so far, even without Paul George and Embiid in and out of the lineup, this team is playing with passion. Just some of the numbers I have here. We have of 11 games this year, we are 6-3 in 9 clutch games on the season. 9 clutch games, if you don't know what that is, that's games within 5 points or less in either fourth quarters or overtime. To put that in perspective, last year through the first 11 games, our clutch record was 2-1, and our actual record was 2-9. So our clutch record this year is 6-3. We lead the league in that, and 7-4 is the actual record. This year, 2-9 record at 11 after 11 games, and 2-1 in the clutch aspect. By the time we got to 6 clutch games last year, that was January 24th. And we were 16-27 at that point in the season, and we were 6-3 also at that. And then also to put in perspective, we ended the season 9-10 in clutch games last year. So we're already 6-3, so already halfway or more than half to the 9 there on the clutch game aspect. But I mean, yeah, the one thing I will say that a lot of people are kind of critiquing us, and I think it's kind of gotten less a little bit, is that most of our wins have come against teams below 500. That's been kind of like the critique I've heard, and that's why a lot of people are saying right now the next 5 games will be the toughest test for the Sixers so far, because the teams we are playing are a combination of teams either above 500 or slightly below 500. But I mean, our wins so far: 2 wins against Boston. And if you look at those 3 games we've had against them, it's about a 2-point +2 differential. One game they won by 1 game we won by 1, and then the last game we won by 2. And then Raptors, they're 7-5. They're the lone team that's above 500 that we've beaten. Nets 1-10, Wizards 1-11, Magic 6-6, and Hornets 4-7. And it's early in the season, so we're going to see a lot of this right now. But currently, we got Pistons coming up, we got Clippers, Raptors, Bucks, and Heat coming up. And the big question is, realistically, how do you think we come out of this next 5 games? Is it a 3-2 stretch? Is it something that is going to kind of show you? I mean, for you, is it going to show you what this team is really made of? With this stretch, because a lot of people are making a big to do about this 5-game stretch we're about to have here.
Well, first off, I want to talk about the we haven't played anyone. I mean, 15 teams are either below 500, at 500, or just one game up on 500. So that basically half the league is at 500 or below pretty much. Because, I mean, even the teams that are one game above it, that's one game, that's one loss away from being 500. Because we've beaten teams that were above 500 who are now not. So, we're one of the teams that contributed to them being 500. The stretch, I'm not making a huge to-do about it. I think the good thing is that there are no back-to-backs. That's not nice to finally and the road games are spaced out in between it all. We're actually playing our first Western Conference team. We haven't played a Western Conference team. We're one of 2 teams in the East that have not played a Western Conference team yet.
Oh, wow. The Clippers game, right?
Yeah, us and the Cavs, only team that haven't. Pistons tonight will be tough. I think it's winnable considering we kind of should have won the last time we played them. That was a good game. Tonight they'll be without Thompson. They're still without Tobias. Still without Stewart. Cunningham and Duren are both questionable. So if they miss all those guys combined with the new questionable guys, I mean, let's say the injury report's, pretty close to being even at that point. So I think it is pretty winnable for us, especially if they have like even half those guys out. The Clippers are a complete joke right now. So they've lost 6 in a row. So that should be a win considering, how bad they've been. And it'll be a back-to-back for them and their 3rd game in 4 nights. So on a 7-game road trip, the Clippers are about to be real bad in the standings. So, I mean, it's going to get worse for them, and that should be a win for us. Toronto also very winnable. We proved that recently. But you know what? They're playing really well. That was their only loss in the last 7 games, our loss. So they're playing pretty well. They beat the Bucks. They beat Cleveland twice in that stretch. So, I mean, it's not like they're not playing well because they are. But our guys should go into that game with a high level of confidence since we already just beat them. Then I think it comes down to Milwaukee and Miami, really. I mean, Milwaukee, it'll be tough. It really just depends on which Bucks team shows up because they tend to be really inconsistent. They haven't put together a 2-game win streak in over 2 weeks. They just keep losing, winning. The other night they beat the Mavericks, followed by a loss to the Hornets by 11. So it all depends on Giannis because he's missed some games and which team shows up. Miami is playing well despite missing Bam. They've actually won 3 out of 4 without him. So, Spo's a great coach. So he finds ways to kind of knows how to plug holes and maximize guys and play at their best. Powell's been like a scoring monster for him. So that'll be a tough game. I'd say we go 2-3 at the worst. I say 4-1 at the best. I don't think we go 5-0. My money's on 3-2 just because I think even a winnable game, we can still lose because we're inconsistent on a game-to-game basis too. And I think we are a team still figuring it out. I just think there's nothing wrong with that, especially with I think that's just kind of the landscape of the league, and so many teams are doing the same thing. I don't know if you noticed this in general. There are so many superstars and just key role players out every night. There are so many injuries. I don't think I've seen it like this before. I know we probably say that a lot, but I mean, guys in and out of the lineup. Every team has like 1 to 3 key players out, and that's dating back. You got the last year's late season injuries that have carried over into this year. And then every game, someone seems to be out. Like I have a fantasy basketball team. I have like 6 injured players on it. And they're like more my top players, actually. Like a lot of guys are missing time. So I think it's kind of a league-wide adjustment and learning to play with different lineups. It's testing your depth. And I think we're pretty accustomed to that. We had a kind of a head start going into the season, knowing that 2 guys are not going to be available all the time. So I think that's why we've been playing well, because we have young, hungry guys who are on the cusp. We have a talented, deep roster. It's one of our deepest in a long time. I think that plays really well into this season. That's why we're playing so well. Yeah.
No, the depth is key. I mean, like, I know for many years we talked about, oh man, like we're not deep at all. I mean, I was looking at like graphics from our team from last year, and like, I mean, I'm not gonna knock guys, but like, Ricky Council was getting decent minutes for us. I mean, like, where is he now? I mean, is he, like, half the guys we had in our team are playing overseas now. I mean, that's wild. And those guys are getting significant minutes on our team last year. This year, we're getting guys who are like, everyone's contributing, man. I mean, Oubre looks like a different person. I watched the whole interview with Oubre, and Oubre talked about, like, you know, after the season was over, with his trainer. They went back and watched game tape, and he said he was kind of like disgusted with what he saw. And like you could tell, I mean, he's come out with like a different passion this year. I mean, this looks like Oubre that was drafted by the Wizards. Oubre, that's what this guy looks like. Why are you doing that face? This kind of disgusted look.
Trying to like look up Council. He signs a pact with Houston.
What is that?
I
never heard of
contract
that.
with the Rockets. The deal is unknown.
Oh.
It's a non-guaranteed pact. So there you go. From heavy minutes to packs.
Yeah, and then you have at the other end like all the other guys who are just gone and playing overseas now. It's just wild. I mean, the Morey. I know he's gotten a lot of flack for sitting his hands on like not trading Tobias, taking forever to trade Simmons, all that stuff, and like not trading for Halliburton, whatever. That's the rumor, right? Everyone thinks that was a rumor, but it wasn't actually true, or never verified. But like this team he's built, I mean, special, and like I know it from a deep standpoint. But I gotta also give like credit to guys like I just mentioned. Oubre this past offseason went back and looked at his game tape and like fixed that. Him and Drummond are two guys who just look like two totally different players last year to what they are this year. And I give Oubre was an Iron Man for us last year. Played in every game, but he didn't look good for a lot of those games. It was a different Oubre from the pre-motorcycle accident or bike accident to what he looked like after that. And he looks great. Drummond looks awesome in spot duty. But I know a lot of people wanted us to trade him away for a bag of chips. I mean, he looks phenomenal. So, like, everyone's playing their butts off, and we are deep. Jabari Walker's looking great. Barlow's coming back, and that was a guy who kind of came out of nowhere during the offseason and the early part of the season. So I love what we have from top to bottom with this team. And I did want to address so Detroit's an interesting one. They played 3 games this week: Sunday, Monday, and they played Wednesday. We played Tuesday. That's it. So we are a fresher team than Detroit. So I do think, and we should have beaten them the first time. And I think the guys definitely know that. I mean, like if you look at I know we talked about our losses. We have 4 losses and 3 of them are clutch losses. That tells you a lot about this team. Only one blowout was the Cleveland game. We lost by 11. But like we're in every game, and like that. I mean, everyone who watched Sixers last year, I mean, we were 2-9 the first part of the season, and we were 2-1 in clutch games. That was 8 games we got blown out by more than 5 through the first 11 last year. We were unwatchable at certain parts of the season. And everyone's contributing. I did want to talk about just kind of the team before we get to the next topics, just different elements though. VJ Edgecombe, a lot of people are making a big to-do about he kind of slumping a little bit. It's just more of a for me. I think I'll just say this because a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, like VJ, he looks rough right now." And I think it's more of he came out hot. I think a lot of people weren't expecting him to come out as hot as he did, as far as expectations wise, like looking as great as he did from game 1. So I think it's like people were judging him based on the way he looked after game 1 and game 2. Yeah, he's a rookie. And I think people should realize that. But I will say he's impacting the game even when he's not scoring 20 points, right? Like you saw a block he had Jaylen Brown at the rim during that game. And I think that's like, okay, guys, that's what we drafted him for. We didn't think he was going to be his 20-point game guy right out the gate. That was a bonus. But the other things like that, the block at the gate, just the energy, the defense. And I think that's what, like, I'm not scared or concerned about VJ Edgecombe's development, as I've seen a lot of people saying, like, "Oh, what happened to VJ?" Like, no, nothing happened to him. He's a fucking rookie.
I think even when he was playing out of his mind, we were talking about him. I think even we said, like, you welcome the good games expecting bad games. Like, he's a rookie. He's not going to sustain that and be the most, like, the best rookie of all time. Like, that's why that was his pace. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Like, I know we wanted to happen. That wasn't going to happen. So, I was waiting for these. So it's just not surprising at all. I don't even see it as a slump. I see him as he's taking his lumps, man. He's learning how to play. Good players go through like stretches like this. Like, good vets, all-stars go through bad stretches. So, like, this is just expected. This is just, most of the rookies started out the season that way and are still playing that way, actually. So, like, some of these games, I mean, his bad games are what, 11 and 11. I mean, he's not shooting that great, but he's still averaging 5.5 rebounds in the month of November during his like slumping times. And almost 2 steals a game. I'm not worried at all. I think it's totally fine. He's just a rookie. And you know what? Like, I'm sure having to learn to play with different people every night, he's not used to that. Like I'm sure he wants some stability and like wants the same rotation, and we're sorting it out as a team. So you can make an argument and say maybe like 30 to 40% of his minutes are maybe in rotations with people he maybe shouldn't be playing with all the time. And we're finding that out. We're going to have to find out like who works best with who, right? So it's a giant learning experience for everyone.
100%. And yeah, I see people saying, "Oh man, like, what happened to him?" It's like, what do you mean what happened to him? It's 11 games into his rookie campaign. What do you mean what happened to him? I guess people just have unrealistic expectations after his hot start, which was awesome. But he's still doing things that we wanted. We drafted him to be a defensive dynamo who was an athlete, and he is showing that he can do those things.
Dude, I'll give it a food reference. Like it's like you have a cheesesteak. I'll give it a Philly food reference. You have a cheesesteak and it knocks your socks off. Like, it's a really good cheesesteak restaurant. They make a really good cheesesteak. You have one again, like a couple weeks later, it's not as good. It's not a bad restaurant. They're not going through hard times. It was a bad sandwich. It happens once in a while. Every good place has a bad outing. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're going through hard times. Like it was just off one time.
Especially when they just had a grand opening too, right? I mean, that's also what it is. Too.
Yeah,
they just opened up.
Yes, 100%.
The other thing I wanted to point out here, the Quentin Grimes betting on himself and looking pretty good. And the big story with him this week was he just signed with CAA, the new agency, or his new agency, and represented by Kelly Oubre. So we already have good standing with them.
Kelly Oubre's representing Quentin Grimes.
No, his agency.
No, I know. I'm kidding. That's what it sounds like. It'd be hilarious, though.
It would be. We get a good deal based on Uber.
We get a real good deal.
So Grimes going there. A lot of people are making a big to do about this, saying this is a good thing for the Sixers since we have good dealings with CAA. Obviously, we want Grimes to stick around. We want him to be signed to a 3 or 4 year deal in the offseason, but he bet on himself, has a new agency, which is. So was he doing his own deal in the off season, or he just like after that?
No. He was with someone because I remember reading quotes about the agent. Let me see right now.
So I wonder if he wasn't a fan of the way it all went down, and he's like, no, screw this. I'm gonna get a new agent, man.
They usually list who their agent is on the site.
Because I mean that is interesting, right? Like you have a weird thing, your thing goes down to you miss pretty much half of training camp. You don't get a deal done. You sign a 1 year deal, and then a month into the season you're signed with a new agency. So I wonder if that is kind of sour grapes from the way things were handled. But then signing with an agency that we've had good standing with, I think it does tell you some positive. Or do you feel optimistic, as a lot of Sixer fans do, that we could get a deal done based on him signing with CAA?
Yeah, I don't think that changes anything. I mean, a lot of the speculation is that the fact that he's signing with them, makes it sound like he's just trying to maximize as much money as he can get, which don't most players do. I don't think any agent he was with was going to give us a deal. The last agent didn't last offseason, so why would it be any different for this upcoming season? So, I think, look, more teams will have money. And it's a good opportunity for him at this point. He's looking great, and I think we could still get him. I don't think this means he's leaving. I think it's ridiculous that people assume that just because he gets a new agent. That's dumb.
No. Most people think him signing with CAA means he's probably going to stay with Philadelphia because of our connection.
That's not what I've read. I've read that people think it's him just trying to chase the biggest bag he can get, and that might be elsewhere.
I mean, he looks like he's having fun. I mean, in Philadelphia so far, and I know we've seen guys come here and they look like they're having fun, and then they bounce the year later. Maybe this is also part of the new kind of the new norm for the Sixers, right? When people come here and have fun and they want to stay, and we haven't really had that in years past, right? These guys come, they look fun, they look like they're having fun, and then they're out the next year. So hopefully, I'm
not gonna worry about that. Yeah, play your ass off and chase as much money as you can, man. That's great.
Yeah, continue doing what you're doing. I love what I'm seeing from Quentin Grimes. Our big three guards, man. Grimes, Maxey, and Eshcom. Really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And really taking like the NBA media landscape by storm. I'm seeing all these guys like the Hoops Collective, which are the first few games they wanted to like kind of poo-poo or it's only one game, let's see how it continues. And like, let's talk about Joel Embiid. Like, go back to the negative stuff. Like they're starting to talk about us more. Bontemps is all over the Sixers in a positive way. The Hoops Night guy, big fan. So yeah, I love to see everyone's kind of coming around on us. Because no one was talking about us in the offseason. People just kind of laughed at us and rolled their eyes. Now people are talking about it. So I do love that. Also, although I did like this that we were sneaking up on teams and people, but now we're not sneaking up on anybody because we're a good watch. And the NBA is going to feel pretty upset that they didn't put us in more primetime games. I mean, we only have like 7 or 8 on the season, so not that many.
Justifiable though.
Yes, but I think this shows
they couldn't give us a lot after last year's showing.
Right, because they couldn't base it off Eshcom, Maxey. They didn't know what was going to be seen.
We'll go back to it next year.
100%, because we are a fun watch. I mean, even the games we lose, it's a fun 2 points or 3-point losses.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about PJ Eshcom, one rookie. I want to talk about another rookie or a guy who had a great rookie campaign sophomore year is Jared McCain. So Jared McCain officially assigned to the Bluecoats for a conditioning stint, as they're calling it. It makes sense because we've seen him over the last few games. He needs some kind of runway. Wasn't getting any kind of rhythm with the guard rotation. Only getting a few minutes. Not really getting much. And this could be good for him. 25 to 30 minutes a game. Handle the ball. Get shots up. His first game last night. Missed all his threes. Which I thought that's the thing that stands out to me. But again, you look at him and like you forget he had a thumb was a thumb injury or pinky injury on the hand.
I thought it was pinky.
Yeah, I think it is pinky. But like you had the pinky injury, which that's the most recent one that he had. The hand injury. Are you looking at his pinky?
Nah, it was UCL on his right thumb.
Thumb, okay. So thumb injury, that's the most recent one. That's where everyone thinks, right? But really, we forget he's coming off a knee injury, and then that kind of like stood out to me. I don't know if you were kind of like aghast too when you first saw him on the court wearing that giant thing on his leg. I was like, geez, man, that's some big hardware there. And then that and like the thumb injury he's going through. And then apparently last night in his first game with the Bluecoats, he's not wearing that giant thing on his leg. He's wearing more of like a tight, or a more tight compression knee thing. So that's good. He's finally, starting to get off that stuff. But I mean, are you nervous or concerned about Jared McCain as far as development? I know he had an amazing rookie campaign until he got hurt. I mean, he was front runner to win Rookie of the Year. Then he gets hurt, starts on the season. I mean, from what we've seen so far, I don't think he made a. Did he make a basket in any of the games he played in? I think he was 0 for all the games he played. At least the 2 games I bet on, if prop wise, I don't think he scored. So, yeah, and he didn't get that many minutes. Are you worried about Jared McCain right now? Is that kind of concern?
Yeah, he's over. He's only shot 7 times, but yeah, he was over.
Yeah, so I mean that's like kind of where I mean just your overall thoughts on Jared McCain, and do you think this Bluecoats assignment could actually be helpful for him?
It sounds bad, but I think he just needs to show confidence in his play again and trust himself. I think it's a really good thing to be going to the G League for a team, on a team basis. I think it is. It's not great for him because it sounds bad that he brought back to the team and then brought back to the G League. Like I probably would have been better if he just went to the G League first. I think the worst part is that he's with a team and then goes back. That's why people are kind of seeing it as a slight demotion. But as a team, it just lets everyone know that this isn't last year. Like, we aren't the Wizards just playing to develop. We're playing to win, right? So if this were last year, then sure. let McCain stretch out, get conditioned in real games, jack up a bunch of shots. It doesn't matter anyways. We're getting killed by 25. Let him shake off the rust while he looks rough doing it. I think it's good to have him. It takes the pressure off him in short stints where he'd have to come in and perform well on a team trying to win. He doesn't have that pressure anymore, right? So, because we're not that same team, he can't just come up the street and take up 30 to 35 minutes with crazy usage, because that ain't happening. We're in meaningful games night after night. So when his main focus right now should be getting himself right, I think it'd be more about helping the team win and try to win games, which would just take him out of what he's trying to do, get conditioned and get right again. And he can get himself right by just playing freewheeling basketball in the G League. Shake off for us, get loose, play with confidence, get back to being comfortable with his game and body, which is important, just as important, so that he can be the best version of himself and just get into rhythm with the team. So he's not trying to juggle getting right, getting readjusted, and trying to help win the team win games. I think it's great.
Yeah, trying to pull up his numbers here. Last night, his numbers were okay. 10 points, 3 of 10 from field, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throws, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers. So that's his first real stint of basketball. So, yeah. We got some comments here. Mr. James 27, love you guys. Where's Snow? Devil's advocate. Oh, so Snow is busy today. He is traveling. So yeah, we will be back. So our new time during the next few weeks will be Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on here, all three of us. The trio will be back on here together. So the three dudes will be back together. He says, Devil's advocate. We have a losing record against teams with winning records, and we still haven't gone out west. This can get ugly. Tasia, you kind of addressed the record against teams with winning records. How half the teams in the league have below 500 records right now.
Yeah, I mean half the 15 teams in the league either are below 500, at 500, or just one game above 500. So the league is pretty much teetering on 500. So I mean, you're gonna, more than likely you're gonna play almost every other night. You're gonna play someone who's hovering at 500. So I don't think it's indicative of just we're only playing bad teams. There's a lot of bad teams out there. So it's just, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's a weird year. And even when you do play some of these good teams, they're missing guys half the night. So you're not even getting the best version of themselves. We're gonna play the Pistons tonight, and what are they? 9-1, 10-2, 10-2. If they're missing Cunningham, Duren, we're gonna look at that win against Detroit in 2 months from now, thinking we beat the world beater Pistons when they were missing 5 of their guys. So it's just a weird year.
And also, too, it's early in the season, right? So we beat the Magic, who are 6-6 right now. I think the Magic are going to be a top 4, top 5 team when it's all said and done in the East. But at the time we beat them, they were below 500. I don't think, we're not making a big to-do about that. But, look, we beat the Magic, and they're 6-6 right now. I think they're going to be a top 5 team in the East. So, at the end of the season, we're going to look at that game, and we're going to be like, oh, yeah, that was a good win. But at the time, obviously, it wasn't because they were under 500. But, yeah, it's still early. And Boston, too, is another team that I think is going to be, a squad that right now they're 6-7, but I think they'll be a playoff team just based on how the things are going in the East. I think they'll still be a playoff team. So
yeah, and plus we beat Boston when they were over 500, right? So or at 500.
Yeah. It was 6-6 when we played them.
Okay,
yeah.
So all these stats are skewed.
Yeah, 100%. It's too early to play in the above 500 game. And
yeah, totally.
But nonetheless, appreciate the comment there, Mr. James. And he's got another one. Yes, we are fun to watch, but what if we end in the lottery? Was this season a good thing? I thought winning a chip was the overall plan. Mr. James, enjoy the ride, baby. 7-4, enjoy the ride, my man.
We're a little far away from lottery talk right now.
I think we're jaded by the way we felt going into the season last year, and then we were not good. But we're already miles and miles ahead of where we were last year. We were 2-9 at this point last year. We're 7-4 at this point. At the same point. So Enjoy the ride, baby. Enjoy the ride, my man. Appreciate the comment. And we got a contribution from Schoolboy 609-215. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate the contribution. Unfortunately, VJ Slump is the difference in W or L's with so many of our key players on IR or minutes restriction. He can't just be a normal rookie. That's a fair point.
It's a lot of pressure to put on him. I get that, but I wouldn't say it's squarely on him, and that's these losses and wins are on him because he slumped and we won our last game. So like other guys have to contribute. We have other guys who are very capable of contributing. He has to just contribute in other ways if his shot's not falling, and he did. It's a key block. I mean, that was like the game decider block, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because not only did that stop them from scoring, it ignited our next score, right? So,
and it also tells you about like what we expected from him was defensive energy, having a guy like that on the team that could guard, and be just a kind of an energizer bunter, right? The generator, as we call him, or his nickname is. But like at the end of that game, I'm like, oh man, like I'm looking at the lineup there, and he's really not providing anything from an offensive standpoint in that game. But I'm like, well, where's Grimes at? Why is Grimes in there? I'm like, oh wait, well VJ's in there. That's why Grimes isn't in there because we have a guy who's going to be able to guard people in there, and that's what VJ did. And VJ blocks Jaylen Brown there, which is gets Maxey on a fast break, a 2-point on the other end. So like he's just providing other ways. The slump from a point standpoint, sure, it's not there, but he is giving us boosts in other ways. So that's where I kind of stand on it. But I do think this slump. I mean, when did this slump begin? How many games are we into the slump, Tasia? Like just based on VJ's game log?
I think it's 4.
So it's still early. I mean,
yeah, it's 4 games. He was double digits. I mean, again, 2 of those are 11 points. 11 points, 5 turnovers. That's a bad game.
Yeah.
The 5 turnovers. They keep your turnovers low at least, which goes to your point about the Pistons game, schoolboy. Like that was against the Pistons. So 11 points and 5 turnovers is pretty rough. 3 of 9. I mean, he hasn't been shooting well the past few games, but his shooting under like 34% has been 5 games. But at least he's kept his turnovers low for the most part, except for that 1 5 turnover game against the Pistons.
And let's give VJ love. I mean, I know he didn't have a really good shooting game in that Boston game, but he's not shying away from that 3. That 3 he hit, which went vertical in the air and then went straight down. That was huge for us in that Celtics game. That was
those were his only makes of the game.
What the 3 that went up and down?
2 threes. He didn't make anything else.
No, I know, but I'm saying that specifically that 3 at the end of the game where he hit that 3 and it goes up and down. I mean, that was huge. So like, I do like that while he's in a slump, he's not like shying away from like still attempting 3s. And remember, like 3s weren't his strong suit coming out of college, but he's still attempting these things. And I do love the confidence that he still has. He's still putting them up there. So yeah, we'll take the good with the bad, but I like what I'm seeing from him even during this slump.
Just keep staying aggressive.
Phil W 9787. No lottery players this year. No lottery players this year. Draft
maybe in this year's draft.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's not our problem. I don't even want to. Let's not even talk about no lottery. We got our lottery ticket. That was VJ Eshcombe. Let's not even talk about anything else.
Let's spend the money we got in the last lottery.
Yeah. But yeah, to wrap up the McCain thing, I do like I said, I do think it's a good thing that he's going to blue coats just to get kind of, and they're calling it a conditioning stint. It's getting him minutes. Yeah. It's getting him to look good. And I think what already step better is that he's not wearing that giant clunky thing on his knee. I mean, and while I was watching, I'm like, dude, how can he even move with that? Because it's one thing for Embiid to have that, who's like a big man, but like we're talking about a guard who like, has to rely on shiftiness, and he's really not that shifty guy. Like wearing that giant thing on his knee. I am happy he's getting his minutes, and I hope he looks good and blue coats and can find his confidence back.
Yeah. It looks like a bionic leg. So big.
Yeah, I know. And Mr. James 27, VJ is exactly what he was in college, a high-energy athlete who can't shoot and an excellent defender. He is what we thought he was. Herm Edwards. Come on.
I don't know, Mr. James. You sound like an Ace Bailey guy is what you are. A bitter Ace Bailey fan.
How is Ace doing? I haven't really followed him after that. I know he had a really rough first few games.
He had a good game recently when they scored 140 points in that game.
They're getting blown out in a lot of these games, man.
Played pretty good. Yeah, he had 20. Yeah, he's back to back 20-point games.
Okay. So you're starting to see
21.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I am.
I knew it. Yeah, man. I can spot him. Funny thing is, though, Ace Bailey's season-long points per game is what Edgecombe's average during his slump. So that tells you something right there.
The season would be a season long average.
Yeah, he's averaging 8.7 a game.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a bad team who's not, so like.
Yeah, he's going out there like with house money. He's playing every night. Like they're not playing for anything over there. I'll tell you what, Lauri Markkanen, he's upping his trade value by the day by looking as good as he does, man. I don't know if they're going to trade him still. Lauri Markkanen looks fantastic.
Yeah. Well, they can. Let's get even more Danny's going to ask for.
Yeah. All right, so I know we have to do it. We don't want to do it, but we have to. We got to talk about our guy, Joel Embiid. Yeah, I know.
Let's do it.
Clock so, I'm trying to find the lower third. I don't know where the heck the lower third is. Is this it? No. Anyway,
I'm sure you have a lot of Embiid injury concerns, lower thirds stocked up over there.
Yeah, for some reason I did not.
One of them in there.
Yeah, I have Jared McCain's photo there. I don't know why I messed up. Anyway, let me just not even use that. So Embiid out again. This time's the right knee, not the left one that he had surgery on. The right one is acting up. He's listed as day-to-day. Imaging showed no structural damage. But, I mean, as Sixers fans, we've watched it. We've seen this movie before many times. But we all kind of feel uneasy about it, right? I mean, he was slowly starting to look to form again, and then he shut down for we don't know how long this is going to be, but they're calling it day-to-day, not week-to-week, so that's a good thing for starters. But I guess my question is, like, I know it's just no structural damage, but how worried should we be? How worried are you feeling right now? Because, we had he surprised us all by playing the first game of the season. No back-to-backs, which is kind of we all thought that was going to be a thing. Didn't kind of not jumping for rebounds, not doing a lot of jumping, but we started seeing it more and more as the games kind of prolonged here. They started to see a little bit more of himself again. Mm-hmm. But now it seems like we're kind of taking a shift back because while there is no structural damage, they obviously were concerned about it enough to want to get imaging on it, which is kind of the scary thing for me. And obviously it's nothing there, but maybe they're just being very super cautious with everything when it comes to him. They just want to make sure everything is kind of follow to the letter of the law just to make sure, hey, like there's nothing going on with your knee, like you're good. So I guess that is a good thing. They're being extra cautious with everything, if that is what they're doing. But I gotta say, I am kind of scared that or worried that they did get imaging on this right knee. What are your thoughts on the whole thing here?
In like hospitals, when someone's in like severe pain, they have a little morphine drip button. And every time they feel pain, they hit it. Like that's like the MRI imaging guy for like Embiid. Like whenever it's like, would you say your knee? And they just start clicking that button. The guy that comes to the door, we need to get MRI. We're like, yep, let's do it. It's a lot of worry mixed with relief. I guess the relief is that there's no structural damage, but then the worry is you got MRI. But like we said, I think it's just get it in there. Just get it scanned. I'm not surprised because of the length of time, and I know Eric will be a much better word on this, but with the length of time he's been dealing with a left knee injury, he had that really bad meniscus injury against the Warriors in January of 2024, but he was already dealing with it before, and then Kuminga fell on it, if you remember right. So let's just say since December 23rd, he's had like a left knee problem. Multiple surgeries, multiple ramp ups, multiple ramp downs, multiple ramp ups. That's 2 years of favoring his right knee or favoring his knee and putting that weight on his right knee. That's a long time for a man of that size. So I'm not surprised he's having right knee issues. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened sooner, to be honest. I mean, I'm surprised it took this long. I'm glad it's being caught and managed before he keeps playing on it, which he has the propensity to do. And then he gets really injured, and you have to really have a timetable to sit him out. That would be worrisome, but positive that it's not his left knee, because if he re-injures that, he's donezo. Let's just be honest here. It's a wrap. Just get back to managing it. Minute restrictions probably here to stay for a lot longer. 20, 25 minutes, no back-to-backs, and just hope the knee calms down.
Phil W. makes a good point. Reality not healthy. He's in and out rest of his career, which I think we were all kind of I think after last year when he had that interview with Bontemps, where he said, I'm no longer playing back-to-backs for the rest of my career. Kind of already assumed that's like he's going to be in and out the rest of his career. This is a funny comment. If this was a normal guy, he's not playing basketball. Well, not a normal guy. he's a 7-foot basketball player. Yeah, most of us would probably not be playing basketball if we had if we had in and out of like right knee and left knee like swelling. Yeah, I think most of us would hang up the sneaks.
I think the goal should be playing the most amount of games possible while giving you playoff availability. Like that should be it. Just like, let me get out there as much as I can, help win games, and then I want to be able to play the playoffs. Playoffs are condensed. That's why so many guys rip their Achilles open, because they're not used to playing every other night for like 6 weeks. And then they do that and they're like, they just fall off, man. Like drop like flies. I'm worried about that for him, but I'm not. We can't get caught up in that right now. Let's just get him back to the court.
Yeah, which is why I do like that they are being super cautious with him, because I do think there is for the first time it seems like there is like a ultimate plan was like, hey, like we want to make sure you're as healthy as possible when it does come to May and April. That like, hey, like these games, because we finally have a team like the depth that we talked about. We finally have a team that we don't really need him on the court to win, which is amazing. And like he's even talked about it like that. They're actually scoring when he's not on the court. Third quarters are still a disaster, but forget about the third quarter. Like the team is like collectively a better team, and like we don't really necessarily need 21 in there. Obviously, it helps us that he's in there, but like it seems like the team has an approach like, look, like we don't need you to win these games. We need you when it comes down to it in April and May. My only issue is like him being in and out of the lineup is what you talked about, is the kind of the cohesion and the chemistry, because there is a lot of like new pieces to this team. Like, I mean, Grimes and Embiid played for the first time. Like, I think they played one time together last year's season. And then this year, I think they've already played a couple more games they played together than they did all year last year. So like, I do want to see more of Embiid, but obviously I do like the fact that they are like being cautious with this and trying to make sure they dot all their I's with this whole situation.
And I think that it actually is a detriment sometimes, because I think it was the Bulls game. We lost that game, in my opinion. I think it's the game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, when we couldn't make a pass in the last 4 minutes.
Well, we also like he was gone for a long time in that game, and he came right back in, and we just funneled the ball through him every time. It was like you can't just do that. You need to have an offensive, like you need to have like a game plan around something else other than him. He's missed the last like the quarter, and you just come right back in and I mean, like, and we folded like that. It was like the last couple of years play. We like reverted back, just like leaning on him for all of it. That can't happen. We need to have a balanced attack at all times, and it'll help when we get everyone back, and we start experimenting and see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, and Mr. James, I hate that we don't have a floor general. We were playing all combo guards and we were playing fast. I think we were trying to emulate Indy's play without a Halliburton on our roster.
Yeah, see, I think it would help if we did have one. That would ensure that we'd still run an offense without just saying, "Hey, 21, these are crunch time buckets, and Bulls are making a run. Put the fire out for us." I feel like we would have more of a balanced attack if we had a floor general like that. But you know, I think Maxey's doing an admirable job at point guard. But yes, we don't have a pure, snow. I guess you could say we don't have a pure point guard out there.
No, but Maxey has gotten a lot better. Right? People don't want to like give him the credit. Maxey has gotten a lot better being a facilitator. Yeah, he's still a scoring guard, but he has
assists.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. So I mean, yeah, a lot of people want a Halliburton, but like you're not going to get a Halliburton, but you can get a guy who is a scorer who can become a better facilitator than Maxey has. And you also have add in Trent Watford. Watford, when he's in there, he's actually bringing the ball up a lot, and he is kind of a facilitator. I mean, Embiid call him Ben Simmons. So,
The problem is like who's he going to play over at this point?
Who?
We have a guy let's run on that floor general. I mean, like, who's he going to get minutes over at this point? Like, we're packed at guard right now. I mean, it's not easy to get on the floor.
Yeah, no, I know. We're stocked up. So I mean,
That's that's with McCain blue coating it. You know what I mean? Like
no,
that's 4 guards are going to get major minutes, dude. So I don't know what a floor general how he would even get in there.
Yeah.
Just give Lowry more playing time.
Last 2 games, Maxey's been great. The other games, I thought he was trying to do too much. He's been great overall. He's been fantastic. Yeah. But we hope Embiid comes back soon, and obviously we're happy that there's no structural damage in it. So whatever is going on with it, they even say knee swelling. I mean, what are they even waiting for him to come back? Is it pain?
What was the actual? It was
knee soreness, I think is what it was.
Soreness, yeah. I mean, isn't that his life at this point? Sore knee.
I mean, are we all? Don't we all have knee soreness?
Yeah. I mean, tell me about it. I said cross leg for 10 minutes. I get knee soreness when I get up. All right.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to close with another guy who's coming back from an injury, which is a mysterious one. Paul George. Because everyone wants to know, when are we actually going to see him in a Sixers uniform this year? So reports are saying that he's in the final stage of his return to play progression, strengthening the quad and getting his conditioning right. But they're still being cautious. And honestly, we're all kind of happy they're being cautious about it. Just kind of the same thing with Embiid. We're being happy they're being cautious about it. We're paying him a lot of money. And like Paul George could be a nice asset. We're talking about guys who can be a clutch bucket getter at the end of games. That could be PG for us. I mean, that's why we brought him in here at the end of the day. But it seems, for me, like going into the season, I thought we'd see Paul George before we'd see McCain. I thought we'd see Paul George before Embiid was playing that first game of the season. I thought that we were going to see PG before we saw Embiid. And the fact that he's the last guy, pretty interesting that it's taking so long. Because I mean, from what I heard, it was just kind of like a cleanup injury for the knee. I'm kind of surprised it's taking this long. But Tej, I know we talked about Paul George fitting in when he does come back, and I think that is kind of the story's cohesion and chemistry. Like when are we going to get all the parts together, and how are we actually get to see them together? Because so far, Nick Nurse is doing a bang up job of playing with the parts he does have. And I'm just curious how you think it's going to fit when he comes back. And are you overall just surprised how it's taking this so long? A knee cleanup procedure that's, we're going into mid-November and he's not back yet.
Well, quick question for you before I do that. Who do you think we see next, Embiid or George?
Embiid.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, we do play Clippers. I think I can say I'll say Paul George plays in that Clippers game. I think that's his first game back.
You think so? Okay. So like limited minutes. It's a good one. It's an easy one to do because you play like limited minutes, not a lot of pressure expectation on you.
Yeah.
I don't think his return will have huge immediate impacts because he'll be on a minute restriction for quite some time. I think the emergence of guys, we don't really need to do that. And we'll be able to experiment with different lineups, figure things out with him on the floor, whether it's like more of a transition a lineup with him at 3 and Walker at 4, or traditional lineup with 3 and 4, or Watford at 3 and 4 with him, Oubre with him at 3 and 4. Edwards is even making it hard for him to be ignored with that crazy game he had. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have when you have your issue is needing to find time for really good players. I mean, we've had the opposite problem of trying to find good players. So, I'd love him and Embiid to get synced up, but it's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Like us and many of the teams in the NBA are kind of in figure it out mode for what I see for the majority of the season. We kind of have it a little worse, and we have it a lot worse than most teams. But at this point, I'm just hoping Embiid and George get 20 to 30 games together. Like, I don't even know if that's too much to ask. Is that enough? Probably not. But that's just the beast we're dealing with when you have Embiid not playing back-to-backs all season. I don't know if George is going to be playing back-to-backs anytime soon. Probably not. And then with their limited games, do you stagger them to make sure we have the most talent available on the floor on a given night? Or do you play them together and try to get at least a little chemistry before the end of the season? What do you prioritize? Do you prioritize as many guys possible? Or do you prioritize like future planning to have them on the floor together, but other nights we don't have either of them? That's definitely a question we'll have to ask Eric when we see him next time. But those are my thoughts.
30 games, I think that's like not happening. I think 20 games I think 15 to 20 is more of a sweet spot. I think really to get.
I would say 30 is optimistic. That'd be the high end, but 15 to 20, I think is more realistic. What would you rather do? Would you rather stagger them and have like availability for at least one of them every night, or would you like almost like a pitching rotation,
Yeah.
or would you have them like together on the floor to try to like get them used to playing together?
Well, it seems like Embiid was going to be just not playing back-to-backs, right? So it seemed like he was going to play the front end of a back-to-back and then not play for the next one. Then, so it seemed like he was only going to miss one every other game. He was going to miss. That's what it seemed like. Paul George, they never say anything about him not playing back-to-backs. So, like, in theory, I mean, is he going to push play? I mean, I never heard anything about him not playing back-to-back. So, like, when Embiid does play, you'll see them together. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like a pitching rotation kind of thing. I think it's more gonna be like Embiid plays, and then Paul George, unless he is injured, like he'll be out on the court. And I don't think they're gonna be strategic. I think it's different between Paul George and Embiid. They're being strategic about his playing and availability. I don't think they're being strategic about Paul George. I think they just want him to be healthy, and they're gonna come back and then they're gonna sort of play him. I don't think there's gonna be any.
I mean, he's gonna have rest days. He's gonna have load management games, for sure. He's not just going to be back. They're not going to do that. There's no way we're being this weird about his injury and delaying getting out on the floor to begin with, and then all of a sudden be like, all right, get out there, right? So, I mean, he is going to miss games, and when he does miss games, are you going to do that when Embiid's off or on the floor? It'd be interesting to see that. He needs as much time with Embiid, but we also need the most coverage. We need the most guys available.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll have the load management games, but I think for the most part, like I think when he's healthy, he's gonna be healthy, and I think when you first see him out there, I think it's gonna be very heavy minutes restriction. I mean, and they've been pretty tight on their minutes restrictions. I mean, we see what they have been with Embiid. I think you'll have a very for the first month and a half, you'll have a good solid minute restriction for Paul George. I mean, but I think.
Oh, yeah,
but I don't know.
I think for maybe longer than that, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. I just see like it's gonna be more like when Embiid's available and Paul George is available, they're gonna play with each other. I don't think it's gonna be a staggered kind of thing. But I do hope we get to see a lot of these guys because it would be a shame in May and April for these guys to finally play together for a good amount of time, and we're seeing like kind of like learning curves happen while we need these games in the playoffs. So
I mean, it's probably is gonna happen toward the end of the year. That's when they're gonna get most of their like, all right, we're figuring it out, and then if one of them has any kind of setback,
yeah.
Start all over again.
Yeah. Appreciate the contribution, Schoolboy 609215. Appreciate you, buddy. Should have kept Jared Butler, that is, and give Lowry our coach tag. Hey, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, Lowry's essentially a player coach, but I mean, like every team's had those in the past, right? Udonis has them and rode the bench for many, many years being a player on that team. Then Kyle Lowry's pretty much our Udonis.
I like Jared Butler. Problem is, again, I mean, having him on the bench isn't going to help give us a floor general. He needs to be on the floor. Jared Butler is going to play over McCain, Grimes, VJ, or Maxey. I don't think so, man. I think he'd be getting like a six minutes a game.
If
that's just not exactly. If that. I mean, you got Edwards, scorching in a game. That guy's not hardly seen the floor, but he hasn't seen that floor that much. Like,
no,
it's that we have a good depth problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like Jared Butler too. He's not going to crack minutes over these guys.
Yeah, you need someone good enough to be able to play over those guys. And then Mr. James with the trade. Let me ask you a question, actually. Would you trade Embiid and PG if we empty the cupboard of all of our assets? Because no one's taking those guys for free. We're going to have to attach picks to those. Would you want to give both Clippers picks away to get rid of Embiid and PG to go full rebuild? So that's what you'd have to do. That ain't coming for free. We have to attach a lot of picks to those guys. They're two of the worst 5 contracts in the NBA, dude. Like, they ain't coming cheap.
I will say, though, like, when people say rebuild, that's like blowing it up. Like he's just bottom out. I mean, we're playing without those guys, and we're 7-4 right now. I don't think it'd be a rebuild. I think it'd be kind of like you're just getting more pieces to add to the squad that we have now. That means we like our team a lot right now. So, we can win with what we have right now, and you're trading those guys to get us different pieces.
If we dumped and didn't get much back in return, and someone ate the salary, which I don't even think is that realistic, because everyone spends money nowadays. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty close to bottoming out if we wouldn't get anything back. If this was our full roster, like, and we didn't have PG or Embiid coming back, I mean, at all, and nothing really of tangible to replace them with, it'd get pretty rough.
I mean, I think a lot of people came into the season like expecting not to get much from those guys. That's why we're all kind of really happy about what we're seeing so far. It's like, oh yeah, we're 7-4 without those guys. Like, man, we are actually good with that. We don't really need them on the court.
Well, a couple of those wins, Embiid was there. So.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about PG. The collective. Like, there's moments I forget PG's on our team, dude.
If Embiid hadn't played this season and we were like 3-8, would you be as optimistic about that same thing? Get rid of them, we'll be fine. No, we wouldn't be.
No.
It'd be way more about development. Let me put it that way. If we were like 2-9 and no Embiid for the season and George wasn't coming back anytime soon, McCain would be playing in real games because it wouldn't matter at that point. We're not competing for anything else other than development.
100%. Schoolboy, we already knew McCain wasn't going to play right away. In these third quarters, we need a real point guard. We need a bucket getter, so hopefully that means we bring in. Hopefully, Paul George is that guy for us when that time does come. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we signed him, because he's a bucket getter.
I wouldn't say consistent bucket getter because Maxey's a bucket getter. We need
but he can't fall on his shoulders every game, and he's exhausted.
We need periodic guys you can lean on, and PG is really good for that. PG can still go on scoring spurts where he scores 8 in a minute. He can still do that. I mean, PG's not cooked yet. He's still got that in him. And there's one positive to all the PG stuff. That dude's gotten rest. Okay, so that guy, he should become fresh after all this. He should have some spring in his step. Like, he should be jumping on the court the way that Embiid jumped when he celebrated with Bona. Okay, that's the way Paul George should be jumping every time he's on the court.
Rest and a lot of bulletin board material, because he's definitely heard the complaints about him and his contract. And before we get out of here, final question here from Mr. James. Appreciate you guys engaging with us. I know Eric's not here today, but we appreciate you guys hanging with the Dash Brothers. Last question from Mr. James 27, our resident Ace Bailey fan. Last question comment. Give me a realistic finish to the season for our beloved 76ers from both of you. Record prediction.
That's so hard.
I believe the over-under for us was 49.5. They
do live over-unders though, right?
No, but coming into the season, I believe it was 49.5.
I wonder what it is right now. Probably 51, 52. If it was 40, if it was 49, I'm going to see if they have it.
I believe it was 49.5 going into the season. Maybe it's 44, honestly.
44 probably sounds more right. But see, because we're such a wild, I'm surprised I even let it go out there because we're such a wild card with
they didn't know no
availability. Yeah, they have no clue. We're a really hard team to do that with. It's a big time gamble. I know it's gambling, but it's a big time gamble when you're doing that. Let me see. Team props, team futures, regular season wins. Here we go. Oh god, okay, never mind.
Is this current?
Team.
Is this current?
Yeah, I'm looking like live. I don't think they have, at least not on DraftKings, they don't. I'm not seeing because I go to regular season wins. It doesn't have any like. Yeah. Let me go to.
It was 43.5. It was
okay. I see 44 on CBS as of October 20th.
Yeah, the preseason was Sixers 43.5 win loss.
Okay, so just based on that and where we are now compared to where they thought we were going to be at, I'd say 52.
52 wins.
52, 51.
And Mr. James, man, I mean, I don't know if he is playing devil's advocate, but man, he's doing a good job of it. I'm taking the under if it's at 49 today. I'm with you with the 52. I think it's gonna be over. Obviously, over the 43.5 they had the preseason. But yeah, I think it's gonna be in the 49 to 50 range.
Yeah, so you want us to go. Let's say 49.5 is the number. Okay, so you're gonna take under that. I'll go over that.
I'll go over that. Yeah. All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the episode tonight. We hope you guys enjoy the NBA Cup game against the Pistons tonight. Hopefully, we get some redemption action. They only beat us by 3 last time. And there's a team that playing with the. I mean, hey, they're right now. They're the young bucks of the Eastern Conference right now. Let's humble those boys this weekend. But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys on Tuesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with myself, Tasia, and Eric Snow, talking about everything Sixers next week. So we'll see you guys next week.
All right, fellas.
Take it easy, everybody.